Welcome back to another empowering episode of our Money Magnet podcast. I am Anna, and joining me today is my wonderful co-host Alex. Today, we want to talk about a topic that is important for women everywhere, the art of negotiation, and how it can propel women towards greater financial success.
That's right. Negotiating your salary, or rates if you work for yourself, is not just about earning what you deserve. It's about challenging societal norms and advocating for equal pay. In this episode, we'll explore the importance of negotiation, share practical strategies, and some of our own experiences.
Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, the gender pay gap. I'm not the biggest fan of this topic as I feel it's hard to grip and measure. Also, it often feels a little woke. However, it is an important topic when we talk about how to be able to put away more for your retirement.
A little side note on this. Strictly speaking, there are two levers on which you can pull to put more money aside. You can either use less of your current income, or you can earn more and with this have more money to put aside.
That is correct. And despite the progress we have made when it comes to the gender pay gap, women still earn less than men across various industries and job roles. This gap persists even when accounting for factors such as education, experience, and occupation.
The factors contributing to the gender pay gap are diverse. Discrimination and bias in hiring, promotion or lack thereof, and the willingness to accept lower salaries play a significant role, with studies consistently showing that women are often offered lower salaries than their male counterparts for the same work.
Additionally, women are more likely to work in industries and occupations that are undervalued and underpaid, such as in social professions compared to male-dominated fields. And once a woman has children, she tends to earn even less than men or childless women in the same job.
The gender pay gap isn't just a statistic. It has real-world implications for women's financial security and overall well-being. Women's lower earnings not only impact their ability to support themselves and their families, especially if they're single mothers, but also contribute to a cycle of economic disadvantage. This imbalance can have long-term consequences, including lower quality of life due to less income and reduced retirement savings, which can impact your health, your children's education, and increase financial dependency in general.
The gender pay gap hits even harder for women in minority groups, like women of color or with disabilities. Addressing the gender pay gap isn't just about fairness, it's about economic empowerment for all women.
As a freelancer setting your own rates, or if you get industry standard rates like I do as a tourist guide, you might ask yourself why this should matter to you and how you can impact it. Well, advocating for fair and equal compensation is one of the ways to get more money into your bank account.
And when you negotiate your salary effectively, you ensure that you are being fairly compensated for your skills, experience, and contributions to the workplace. Closing the gender pay gap means that you can access higher earnings potentials and greater financial stability.
Ultimately, taking actions to address the gender pay gap empowers you to secure a better financial future, not just for yourself and your children, should you have any, but also for women in the future. And we all want a better life for our daughters and nieces and any other women we care for.
Now, negotiating your salary can feel like navigating a minefield, particularly for women who often encounter specific obstacles. So what are the negotiation challenges for women in particular? First of all, there is a gender bias. Women may face biases that perceive them as less competent in certain industries such as IT, engineering, or trades. Then there is a lack of confidence. Women often have lower self-esteem and are more likely to accept the first salary offer just to get the job.
Another issue is fear of backlash, meaning women may fear negative consequences such as being seen as problematic if they negotiate. And we have not even touched on being a mother in the workforce or the dreaded imposter syndrome. These are just some of the challenges that make it harder for women to climb the ladder into those top-paying jobs.
Now that we looked into common barriers women face in salary negotiations, let's discuss developing a solid strategy to overcome these obstacles and achieve your desired outcomes.
Crafting a negotiation plan is like building a roadmap to success. It involves thorough preparation and clear understanding of your goals and priorities.
The first step is to conduct comprehensive research. This includes understanding industry standards for your position, gathering information about the company's compensation practices, and knowing your own value in the market based on your years of experience, education, and so on.
That's right. Researching industry standards provides you with valuable data points to anchor your negotiation. Websites like Glassdoor offer salary insights based on real employee experiences, giving you a benchmark to work with.
Once you've gathered your research, it's time to identify your priorities and objectives. What are your non-negotiables? What aspects of the compensation package are most important to you?
This will allow you to focus your negotiation efforts on the areas that matter most to you, whether it's salary, benefits, more vacation days, or opportunities for advancements. Clarity on your priorities is essential.
With your priorities in mind, it's time to craft your pitch. This involves articulating your value proposition and outlining why you deserve the compensation you're seeking. After all, your value to the company is determined by the value you bring to the table.
Crafting a compelling pitch requires a deep understanding of your skills, experiences, and accomplishments. Highlighting your achievements and the unique value you bring to the table strengthens your negotiation position. I, for example, have a friend who keeps a folder with each of her accomplishments, whether that be workshops she has attended, projects she has managed, or written praise she has received. So when the time for negotiation comes around, she can draw from that.
Now it's time to pick a salary range and aim for the stars. When you're deciding on your salary figure, think about a range that works for you and matches the value you bring to the table. But here's the kicker. Lean towards the higher end of that range when you are in the negotiation ring.
Why? If you throw out a range, chances are that your negotiation partner will latch onto the lower end of it. That becomes the starting point, the anchor for the rest of the negotiation. And guess what? It's hard to steer too far from that number once it's on the table. But if you start at the higher end of your range, you're setting the tone. You're the one leading the dance. And that gives you more leverage to steer the conversation towards a salary that truly reflects your worth.
Also, practice makes perfect. Take the time to rehearse your pitch until it flows naturally. Role-playing with a friend or a mentor can help you refine your delivery and anticipate potential objections.
Confidence and composure are major helpers in any negotiation. Cultivate a positive mindset, visualize your success vividly, and approach the negotiation with conviction and a calm mind.
And then there is your body language. Keep those arms unfolded and relaxed. Seek eye contact and try to relax as much as possible. Don't forget to breathe.
Also, it is important that you don't come off as argumentative or disagreeable during negotiations. Imagine the process like a graceful dance with your negotiation partner.
Taking your time to decide is also incredibly undervalued. When you receive an offer, it's important not to rush into a decision. You can buy time by expressing gratitude and asking about any deadlines for responding, so you have a clear time frame.
There's also a benefit to just remaining silent during a negotiation for just a little longer than what feels comfortable. I did that once, I think, in my last corporate job. They were looking for German speakers, so I knew I was in demand, and not exactly blown away with what they offered me. So I just sat there, pretending to think, and I drew the silence out. It made me feel rather uncomfortable too, but I had read about this tactic in a book and wanted to try it. And it worked. The HR manager broke the silence first and said it was a negotiable amount. So I said I wanted 20% more, and in the end got 15%.
During this period of reflection, carefully assess whether the offered salary aligns with your expectations. If it falls short, utilize the time given to formulate a counteroffer based on your research and requirements. With such a counteroffer, there should always be reasons attached to why you would deserve the little extra. Think along the line, have former employers always been happy with your work results? Have you proven to go the extra mile to constantly educate yourself in your chosen field? Are you bringing in a lot of clients?
Also be willing to walk away. Negotiating a salary shouldn't turn into a prolonged back and forth. If you can see that your potential employer isn't open to discussing the salary further, it's best not to persist. Pushing the issue could be seen as impolite and might harm your relationship with this particular employer.
In these instances, you have two options. Either accept the offer if you can live with it and without resenting your job or employer for it, or gracefully decline and move on. It's important to know when to step back in negotiations to maintain professionalism and integrity.
And don't forget to embrace flexibility. If you really like the company you applied for a job at, but they don't quite meet your salary expectations, don't sweat it. There may be other perks on the table that could sweeten the deal.
Think stock options, extra holidays, or the option to work from home a bit more. Don't hesitate to explore these alternatives. They could end up being just as valuable, if not more, than a bigger paycheck.
In summary, developing a negotiation strategy is all about preparation, prioritization, and confidence. By conducting thorough research, identifying your priorities, and crafting a compelling pitch, you'll be well equipped to negotiate with confidence and conviction.
And keep in mind that negotiation is a skill that can be learned and mastered over time. With practice and perseverance, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve your desired outcomes. So don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work out the first time.
Negotiating salaries isn't just about the numbers. It's also about navigating the intricate web of cultural and workplace dynamics that influence how negotiations unfold.
South Africa, for example, is a multicultural country, and different communities may have different approaches to negotiation. And being sensitive to these differences can make or break a deal.
On the other hand, national companies or businesses in cities are just as diverse as the people living there. So the negotiation intricacies of just one community might not be as relevant there as when applying for a job at a small town business. But it is equally important to be open to that diversity.
Beyond cultural considerations, workplace dynamics also play a crucial role. Every workplace has its power structures, unwritten rules, and office politics that can influence negotiation outcomes.
Understanding how decisions are made within your chosen company or knowing their values is essential. So do your research online or talk to people working there if you can to prepare yourself accordingly.
All right, let's talk about something that can make a real difference in your negotiation journey, your support network.
Absolutely. Having a crew behind you, whether it's mentors, colleagues, or friends, can be a game changer when you're navigating those tricky negotiation waters.
Especially the wisdom of those who have been there and done that is immensely valuable. Mentors can offer priceless advice and guidance based on their own experiences.
Definitely. And the same goes for networking, because that is where the magic happens. Connecting with others in your field opens doors to new perspectives and opportunities you might not have considered otherwise.
So whether it's seeking advice or just having a friendly ear to bounce ideas off, remember, you're not in this alone. Your support network is there to lift you up and propel you towards negotiation success. It's time to share a personal story from my own career journey. Some years back, I found myself in a comfortable position, having climbed the ranks to a senior role within my organization. But despite reaching a high point, I felt a stirring desire for something more, something that would truly challenge and fulfill me. So I took a moment to reflect and discuss my aspirations with close friends. Armed with clarity about what I wanted, I entered into negotiations with my employer. I expressed my desire to have a stake in the company, to truly invest in my future and take on greater responsibilities. As the negotiation unfolded, it became evident that my initial proposal didn't quite align with the company's vision. However, they presented an alternative offer, albeit not exactly what I had envisioned, yet it represented progress and a step forward in the right direction. While it wasn't the final move in the negotiation dance, it did open doors for further discussions. With this newfound opportunity, I didn't hesitate to advocate for additional perks that mattered to me, such as more vacation days and the flexibility to work from home. In the end, the negotiation wasn't just about securing a higher salary or a specific title. It was about shaping my career trajectory in alignment with my aspirations. It taught me the importance of being bold, proactive, and persistent in pursuing what I truly desired. And most importantly, it reminded me that negotiation isn't just a one-time event, but an ongoing journey of empowerment and self-advocacy.
In the beginning of my work life, I was way too naive and inexperienced to negotiate any of my salaries and just accepted what was offered, happy to have a job. But when I became a freelance translator, I would do my research as to what is an acceptable rate per word for my language combination and would charge that. Still very young and cautious, always trying to please my clients, making sure that they were happy by offering good prices. I often felt like I should charge more, but usually didn't dare to because I didn't want to lose clients. I worked a lot and made enough money to live, but certainly not enough to live comfortably. I wasn't able to build up an emergency fund, for example. And because I worked my 10 to 12 hours a day, I was often tired and stressed. And then you get those clients who need their translations like the next day, but you're actually fully booked for the next few days. So whenever I didn't feel like doing a specific translation, because it was a complex document in terms of formatting, or the deadline was really tight, I would charge more, way more than I was comfortable charging in regular circumstances, thinking to myself that they will most likely turn my offer down, or if they really accept it, I will at least make good money. And more often than not, people would accept my offers, which got me thinking. And so I slowly started increasing my standard rates with every new client, just to test the waters until I was charging what I felt like my work was worth. And people paid my rates. Yes, here and there I lost a client because I had become too expensive. But new clients kept coming. I also realized that I hold a unique position among translators in Cape Town, which also allowed me to justify my rates in case someone questions them. It's been a journey of trial and error, but all it took was some faith and courage.
All right, time to dive into the nitty-gritty. We're going to equip you with some practical strategies to boost your salary over time.
Because let's face it, negotiating a higher salary is just the beginning. To truly grow your earnings, you need a solid plan and some savvy moves.
Absolutely. One key strategy is investing in yourself through continuous professional development. Whether it's taking courses, attending workshops, or earning certifications, upgrading your skills adds value to your resume and gives you leverage when it comes to negotiating salary increases.
And don't forget about advocating for yourself when it comes to performance reviews and promotions. Make sure you regularly check in with your manager, highlight your achievements, remember that folder, and discuss your career goals. This proactive approach shows that you're serious about your professional growth and can lead to opportunities for advancement.
One way to do this is to set yourself goals for the upcoming 3 months and communicate these goals to your boss. Ask them to check in on those goals with you. Once they sign off on them, you go ahead and achieve those goals. And after 3 months, you go to your boss and say, these are the goals I set for myself. This is how I'm tracking them, and these are the goals for my next quarter. And then you keep doing that, and on your annual review, you tell your boss, this is what I said I would do, this is what I've done, and this is how much I exceeded expectations for you, for myself, for the job description. I'm currently an assistant, but I want to be a supervisor. Expressing where you are to where you want to go. Are we aligned? Great.
Exactly. People that put effort into their performance goals and set metrics for themselves, especially if their boss isn't doing that, they are often the people that get promoted. Why? Because they take personal responsibility, take it to the next level, and show that they take their work seriously. So take your life by the reins, as no one else is going to get you where you want to go.
It's all about taking ownership of your career trajectory and actively seeking out opportunities for growth and advancement. This is what laying the groundwork for long-term success looks like.
Now let's shift our focus to freelancing. Many women out there are opting for flexibility and autonomy, as well as the diverse range of clients and work that comes with freelancing. But negotiating your rates as a contractor can pose a different set of challenges.
You're quite right. As a freelancer, you essentially run your own business. It's crucial to value your skills and set your rates accordingly to ensure you're being compensated fairly for your time and expertise.
And remember, negotiation isn't just about the hourly rate or project fee. You also need to consider factors like scope of work, project timelines, and payment terms.
Building a strong portfolio and establishing a reputation for delivering high-quality work can give you leverage when negotiating rates with clients. Don't be shy to ask for reviews and to showcase praise on your website or social media platforms.
And don't be afraid to discuss rates openly and transparently with clients. Know your industry standard rates and be confident in communicating the value you bring to the table and why your rates are justified.
Ultimately, freelancing is all about finding the right balance between financial stability and personal fulfillment. By honing your negotiation skills and advocating for your worth, you can build a successful freelance career that empowers you to thrive on your own terms. Sometimes you need to let go of a client for a better one to come along, so don't forget about that either.
As we wrap up today's episode, we challenge you to take action and advocate for change in your own career and workplace in whatever way you are comfortable with.
Whether it is initiating salary negotiations, promoting policy changes, or championing diversity and inclusion initiatives. Each of us has the power to drive meaningful change and create a more equitable future for women in the workplace.
Thank you for joining us on this journey to empower women through salary negotiation. Remember, your voice matters, and you deserve to be compensated fairly for your contribution.
Stay tuned for more discussions and practical insights to help you achieve your financial goals. Until next time, keep practicing your negotiation skills and soon you will become a money